This is Edison Penn's podcast, episode 370 for Thursday, November 5th, 2020. This is Brian.
This is Lisa. Just do it.
So it was Thanksgiving. It was Halloween.
Yes.
This past weekend.
It was.
Do you know where ghosts go on vacation?
No.
Malibu.
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 Okay.
All right. Rocket, go.
You know, I'm just so tired. It has been such a great week. It's been such an amazing week. I don't even know where to start. We launched our Retro 51 Palmer. We actually got it into us a week in advance, which kind of messed up our timeline because then we thought we could launch it, but we didn't. So anyway.
I'm glad we didn't.
I'm glad we didn't because it took us a week, or we had the week that we actually went and wrapped most of the pens in advance.
Yep.
So because
in fact, even boxed. We wrapped almost all of them, and then we boxed up a bunch and sealed them, and then we had another bunch boxed up that
were unsealed, so we could add a refill or
Yep.
the Chicago pen or whatever. So that when we actually launched it on the 29th, it was just a crazy, crazy busy day, but we shipped out almost 300 boxes.
That was almost 400.
We shipped out almost 400 boxes
The first day.
all that first day. So those of you who ordered on the first day, almost everybody had their pen shipped immediately, which was phenomenal.
Yeah, we had everything by the time we closed the store at 5:30. Any order that had come in by 5:30, we had either already shipped and it was out in the mail, or it was already boxed up and ready to go for a label, or actually had a label ready for the next day. So we were caught up by the time 5:30 came around.
Which is fantastic. Brian brought donuts for the staff.
Yeah, we had we were going to do a baseball cap day, and apparently Dave didn't get the memo, or he didn't believe me when I said we can wear jeans and baseball caps, and so he was the only one that didn't do that. But so if anybody came in, I know there a couple people came in, probably looked at us a little goofy because we're wearing baseball caps, but
that's all right.
yeah. So we had donuts. We were amped up on sugar and Mountain Dew,
soda. Yep.
So it was a good time, really good time.
I was at home and I was watching all the sales come in, and it was fun. It's like, oh, it's so-and-so. Oh, it's so-and-so. Oh, good. I'm glad that, someone had messaged me and they got it in time or whatever. So,
no, good time. There are still some left.
Yes.
So if you missed out or you didn't get a chance to get an order in, we still do have some available.
Yes.
So.
It's really pretty. And if you are, you may be familiar that most of the time in our other exclusives, we've always included our AP in there.
I don't think anybody's found it yet.
One person said they did.
Okay.
So look for it. It's in
tough.
there.
It's tough to find. It took me, I don't know, it must take me a half hour to find it.
See, I knew where it was because Richard said,
Well,
okay, here's where I put the AP. So
yeah,
I got to cheat.
It was a little more difficult to find this time, but that's all right too.
Yeah.
So.
But a lot of people had already gotten their pens on Saturday. More people got them on Monday. They were posting in the retro forum. So it was nice to have people get them in their hand and enjoy them. Speaking of pens, I also got a pen this past week.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Tell
us about your pen.
Brian and I did this goofy thing. We celebrate our dating anniversary as well as our wedding anniversary.
Shouldn't everybody?
Well, it's another gift-giving
right?
opportunity. So this was something I had ordered for myself a couple months ago, and I kept waiting and agonizing. And I have a fondness for St. DuPont pens, so I got the St. DuPont Lion D in the medium size in the blue guilloche, and it is divine.
Divine. Okay.
Divine.
Very nice, very nice.
Love it. What did you get? What did I get you?
What did I get you? What did I tell you to buy? is pretty much how it happened. So this is a really neat looking watch. She goes, oh, what's the eBay number? And then she put in a bid on it.
Put in a bid, and I won.
And she won, yeah. So I got a Seiko Marvel vintage watch. from the 60s and 50s, 60s, and with the coolest dial pattern ever.
Yeah, it looks like linen.
Seiko just does the best dials on the planet. They're just fantastic. They have for 60 years, and very happy. Real nice looking watch.
Those of you who are into watches, feel free to email me because I offered.
Give her all the links of anything cool you
I
find.
offered to, it's a vintage linen dial, and so I offered to replace the fabric.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't get you just cut out a circle of fabric, you
no.
punch a little hole in the middle for the arms.
For the arms. The arms.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, she's not. So, anyway.
Well, a little.
Yeah, a little.
I know that they're not arms.
Yeah. They're fingers.
That's true. No, the little numbers are the fingers.
Anyway.
Just kidding. So that was almost anticlimactic after all of the excitement of the Palmer Thursday and Friday, and then
Well, you also got a jacket. You got a coat. So.
I did get a coat. That was exciting.
Anyway, happy anniversary.
Thank you. You as well.
All right, next up, where do we want to go on this list? I didn't put the list in any particular order today.
All right.
Why don't we jump ahead to
Things we have.
things we have?
These are cool. Now, we've actually had these for a while personally. Visconti.
Visconti.
Visconti
Vanishing Point.
Visconti's next on the list. So, Pilot, Vanishing Point, Ballpoints. I may hit you with one of these. What happens if I?
And these are actually pretty cool. So I remember you got one.
I did.
And then another one came up, and I was like, I was going to sell it to my buddy Jason, and I was like kind of on the fence. I'm like, this is just a weird thing.
You want it.
And you let me try yours, and I said, that's it. I got to have it. Yeah. It's such a cool ballpoint. It's actually Decimo size.
Yes, the thinner Decimo.
They come in gray, chrome, grayish chrome, and then this pearly white, which is very nice.
No, it's kind of sparkly. It's really cool.
It is nice. It's a beautiful white.
We each have the gray. And one came to me a while back. I've had it for a year and a half, maybe longer. Love it.
The write's great.
Write's great. Just functions just like the Vanishing Point, but it's a ballpoint.
Yeah, and if you're a VP collector, these are
cool.
Yeah, it's off the charts. I wouldn't buy all three, but I guess you could. I mean, they're fairly inexpensive. Just really neat and
limited supply.
I didn't know they were actually still made, but they are being discontinued. So we bought up a few of them, and they are available now.
Small supply.
Small supply.
All right. So the Pilot Vanishing Point.
The Pilot Vanishing Point BP.
All right. Let's do the Visconti, since that's what I'm seeing in my head.
Okay.
So the Visconti Voyager is a new pen, and that is coming soon. We don't have it. It's gorgeous. It looks
It's a good looking pen. It's a really good looking
beautiful.
pen. It should be. It's supposed to be in the mail any day now.
Yes.
It was. We thought maybe it was coming last week, but then that was actually your DuPont, which was funny because I brought it home. And you're like, oh well, what came today? Oh, nothing.
So the Visconti Voyager, a gorgeous resin. It's got a really interesting piece of the same resin on the end instead of just an all metal blind cap, I guess you'd call it. But really pretty. 3 colors.
It's a really good looking pen.
A black, an amber.
The amber's nice.
What's the other one? Purple.
Purple.
The
purple
is cool too. Yeah,
I
I put it up like 2 weeks ago. I can't remember.
No, they're super nice. They're round. They almost look a little faceted, but they're really. I think it's going to be a big hit. So.
The resin has kind of a mother of pearl look to it, and so the way that it's been, the rod is actually made with like strips, and so it looks like it's faceted, but it's round. So it's really interesting.
It's going to be great.
Absolutely
Can't wait till it comes in.
Yes.
So, while we're on the topic of colorful,
yes.
This
funky
VAC 700 TWSBI VAC 700 Iris. We're shipping them tomorrow on the 6th.
Yes,
so
not allowed to ship them until the 6th.
They're available now for pre-order.
A limited run.
The nib is killer. That's my favorite part of this pen. Really nice job. You know, it's just, I don't know how they managed to do just the end of the nib, but it's great. And so it's kind of got this rainbow, purplish, bluish, greenish, tealish, you know, fire blue kind of thing going on.
And everyone will be different.
Yep. Everyone is completely different.
That's funky.
It is pretty neat. So, you know.
And even in the light, you know, as you rotate it, the color changes. So just terrific, terrific job.
Yeah.
TWSBI, very cool. And, you know, this time of year, I think everybody needs a little color in their life.
And it's nice that now we have, at least temporarily, you know, you can always get the VAC 700 in about any color you want as long as you want it in clear with smoke ends. So now we've got a second VAC 700 option. Great looking. That nib is fantastic. If the nib were available separately, I bet you would sell 100 of them immediately. But they're not, so you have to buy it with the pen. A little bit more expensive, $80, 85 on the stub. So.
All right.
Very cool. Available now, we'll ship them tomorrow.
Yes.
What do you want to do next?
Let's watch Brian get ridiculously excited about it.
Come on, this is cool. You haven't seen this yet. So this came in, the Cross Tech Pro. So this is super cool. It comes in a cool case, and it's Peerless sized, but it's this matte black with, you know, a texture on it.
Like a crosshatch.
Yeah, it's really cool. And so the big deal about this pen, it's ballpoint only, and there's a little indicator light there. When you turn it, the blue light comes on, and you can use it on your phone, your iPad. You're scrolling if you're at a.
Try it on your phone. Does it work?
It works, yeah.
Did you try it?
I did try it.
All right.
So you can, like if I'm on, I'll go here and I'll pull up a website, and you can scroll without touching the device.
Cool. All right.
It's pretty neat. And then of course if you turn it the other way, you've got your ballpoint, and it comes, like I say, it comes in this cool little case.
Okay.
And the top comes off. It's magnetic, and then there is the spot for a USB charger, and that just snaps back on.
I have a thing for USB stuff.
And your charger is.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Your charger is inside the case, and then it also comes with an extra couple of refills in there. So
oh my God.
Everything all in one cool little case. You can keep it in your briefcase, your bag, whatever. And it's a nice big chunky size. It's got some nice weight to it. It feels quality. It's cool. I like the Peerless. I always have. Mm-hmm. I missed out on my chance to get the Peerless Tokyo, but this is neat. Tech Pro, and it's in stock now.
There you go.
So.
All right. We are going to talk samples for a minute. Two separate things. We've reconfigured our shipping. Number one, we should mention that I think we mentioned before, the post office.
Mentioned yesterday, yeah.
Okay, the post office has, they say, temporarily increased postage. I'm not sure if it's just for the holiday or.
It's until December 27th, so they're trying to get the Christmas buzz.
So we have increased priority mail and first class by 50 cents. Just to cover our cost. Trust me.
We never make
lose
money
every year.
Yeah, we never make money on shipping. So.
But in doing some of that, we did reconfigure how many samples, ink samples, we can ship in first class, either an envelope or a box, depending on what you get. Mm-hmm. And we've bumped the price down. So you can get up to 9 samples and get them shipped for $4.
For $4. Yeah, it used to be like right around 4. The calculator would go, okay, we're going to put it in a priority mail box, and then it just got to be a point where it's just kind of ridiculous. There's no need for it. We can fit 9 in a package safely.
Well, part of it was the safety.
Yeah. But I mean, these vials are solid.
Yes.
Nothing's going to happen to them.
So we now can ship up to 9 ink samples for $4, which is a positive. And
we have 100 new Ink Studio samples available on the website.
we have more than 100 new ink samples. We have all of the Ink Studio.
Yes.
And we did the States.
The States, yep.
And something else?
Those are the new ones that we did.
Ones, yep.
So if you are interested in any of the Ink Studio, we now have them available in samples. And
the Sailor States as well.
Yep. So check those out and throw them in a bag or throw them in your cart, and you can do 9 for $4. So
great.
Yeah, Amanda was doing them for like days. She's doing all the samples. So, but she finally got them done, and then the next day we launched the Palmer. So
there you go.
No rest for the wicked.
For the weary. And last but not least, unless I think of something else.
Okay.
Hobonichi. Tell me about Hobo.
So we are kind of getting down to the end of what we have. We do have a few of the Techo sets left, not very many.
You know, I don't know the name of it, but the one set that's all bright colors, looks like a crisscross.
Was it the gingham?
No,
One of
I
the
don't
plaids?
think so. It's bright colors. This would go perfect. Just say I'm color matching.
Okay. Cousins are gone. The single Techos are gone. So what we have now is we have the sets, and we have fewer than 20 of the Weeks and Weeks Mega left. So there are some really good ones left. Really nice, pretty ones. But
I love the Toad Lily.
Toad Lily, yeah.
Spring Day is really pretty.
So we have fewer than 20 of them left. If you're thinking about getting one, go ahead and make sure you grab that, because we aren't getting any more.
Correct.
We do have the books and the memo pad sets.
Get those. They are so awesome.
So the Graph A5 and A6, and then the memo pad sets. We're almost out of the Weeks memo pad sets. So if you're interested in those, we've got a small stack left, and that's about it. But well, because they don't make a Graph notebook in the Weeks size.
Right.
So I think a lot of people have been buying it because there is no other option.
Right.
So if you want a little small, thin notebook,
Oh,
those
they're
come in
great.
3 packs. The A6 come in 3 packs, and then the A5 for the cousin, we still have some of those memo pad sets left, and those come in a 2 pack. So very, very affordable on those too. So.
And if you have, do we have any of the clear covers for the Weeks left?
We have a few of the clear covers left. Yep.
Those are great. I highly recommend one. If you're not sure if you're going to use it, until I bought the big cover for mine, I had it, and I know it hasn't even started 2021 yet, but the clear cover is great because it just gives you extra places to tuck
Yeah, it's got a couple extra
business
pockets.
cards,
Yep.
extra pockets. You can tuck the memo pad in there. So the clear cover is really great.
Yeah, and if you want a Weeks and you don't like any of the options, you get the cover, and then you make your own cover, essentially.
I actually had started to do that. I got some.
Put stickers on it or something.
I got some scrapbooking paper, and I actually
Pictures of me.
and I was going to put that inside the clear cover, and then put my notebook, my hobo in there. So I'm sorry, what?
Okay. Anyway, so that's that. Tomorrow is a big day. Do you know what tomorrow is?
Friday.
Yes, November 6th. Do you know what that means?
No.
It's Fountain Pen Day.
Oh, yes.
So,
I got so caught up in the Palmer and my new pen that I just stopped caring about anything in life.
Well, tomorrow's the big day. I actually, within the last couple of days, I added a bunch of more things. So just to give you kind of a heads up, I can't tell you what's on there yet, but
It's nuts.
there's a lot of ink that's going to be on sale, ink samples. There are, I'm telling you right now, any vintage pen on the website is going to be on sale.
Which means that today, Thursday the 5th, nobody's going to buy a vintage
No one's
pen.
going to buy a single vintage pen today. There are a couple of last chance kind of items. There are some free gifts with purchase on certain brands. And
Some of those are cool. I want
yep.
one of them.
And we are going to have a special in store. And we'll probably mention this on social media. But there is a special for those of you only who are coming into the store. So
Does that include me?
That includes you if you want. I'll set one aside for you. So it's a free giveaway. It's no purchase necessary. You just have to ask for it. And we're probably going to get people who are going to come in and say, I'm asking for something. I don't know what I'm asking for. But it's cool. You'll like it. And what else do we have? We've got some paper products, I think. A few paper products. There's some miscellaneous stuff thrown in there. And whatever else I can come up with between now and Friday.
I thought we had a done list.
No, I keep looking. I mean, if there's like these last minute things, I'm treating this as I got to count this stuff at the end of the year anyway. Yes. So let's make it go away.
Yes.
So
a lot of one-off things or the last two or whatever.
Yeah. So a lot of ink. So if you want to experiment with some ink, now's your chance. So
awesome.
It'll be some of this stuff is more than 50% off. So that'll be great.
Speaking of experimenting with ink.
Oh yeah, I don't have it here, but I decided yesterday. Dave and I were sitting in the office, and we were like looking at our retros.
What are you doing sitting?
Well, we weren't sitting, but we were looking at our retros, and we were talking about.
I made Justin laugh.
About the refills, and I know Dave had just bought a couple of refills the other day for his Palmer and for some of Julie's pens, and we were talking about how you can refill the short capless refill with fountain pen ink, and say, you know what, we're going to try this. And
because I've wanted to do it for a while, but I am the world's clumsiest person, so it's always better to experiment with things like where you've got the potential for ink spilling everywhere.
Well, you were talking about doing it here at the house, and I thought, you know what, we have this huge sink at the store. It's better to try it here than to make a mess at the house somewhere, because we've got a pedestal sink. It doesn't really work very well. I guess we could have done it in the kitchen, but so that, well, let's try it here first, and then if it works out, you can do it at home, and it'll be fine. And it wasn't that bad. It was actually fairly easy. The hardest part is getting the refill apart. It's not that messy. Cleaning it up, and I put some Monteverde green ink in there, and wouldn't you know, the darn thing actually works. So that was kind of neat. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't allow that. There's a wick, essentially a sponge inside the refill, and I didn't allow it to dry out like you probably should. And
so that it absorbs more.
Yeah, well, and so when I put the ink in, it was really kind of a muted green for quite a while until I kind of wrote through some of that. So, but
we'll be doing a video soon.
Yeah, we might as well throw something up if you're not sure how to do it. There's a couple of different ways to do it, but...
Do you know how much ink it used? I mean, like, did you go through a full sample? Was it just a tiny bit?
I just took a pipette, and then I dripped it in until the ink started coming out.
Okay.
Until it was fully saturated, and it wasn't. I don't think it was more than. I'm just hazarding a guess here, 15, 20 drops. It wasn't that much.
So it might be a good way to use up some of the leftover ink that's always left at the bottom of a sample.
Yeah.
I'll have Brian bring home samples for me from work to refill my pens because I only go to the store once a week. But if you've got a tany bit left, that may be a good way to use
the beauty of that is you could just drop it in the sample and just let it absorb.
Right.
Now you're not going to get a full fill, obviously, off of that, but then you can use up that ink. And,
right.
It worked pretty slick, so I was, call me impressed.
Let's see what else you put in there.
I know. I'll get to use.
Can you imagine Yamadori in there?
Oh man.
123 Sailor Ink Studio 123 would be cool. 162.
Well, we decided that we could have improved on the process a little bit. So
we're going to play with it.
We actually have a couple more refills at the office that are ready to, to do. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna try to refine the technique a little bit so that when we do put the video out there, then we have a.
I'm so impressed with you branching into color. This is great.
Well, I like green. Green's good. I just didn't want to put a black or a blue. We've got a lot of Aurora black that we use for testers because it's a safe ink and it's really good and it writes well on the page and
rinses out easily.
Yeah, and when you have customers come in the store, you want them to focus on the nib and not necessarily on the color of ink. You want the performance of the pen. So that's why we use Aurora black. But I didn't want to put black ink in a black cartridge because I wanted to be able to see.
Right, how it worked.
Because otherwise I'd be like, well, is there black ink still left in the tip, or what the deal is? So that's why I went with green. So it's neat. We'll experiment more with it probably even today.
Good for you.
So what else you got? Anything? Do we cover the whole list? We're kind of
Palmer, Visconti, Fountain Pen Day.
Did I tell you a joke? I told you a joke.
You did tell me a joke. Yes. We do have more things coming for the holidays. I saw we sold one of those cross-century sets in the store.
Yes, yeah, that's a great set. And the titanium, it's a super cool color. Yep. It's a nice, it's a modern day version of that gold cross set that we all got about 30 years ago.
High school graduation.
Yep. But the titanium or the dark black, yeah, we sold them. It's just
great.
It's a nice looking set.
Great. So we will be gearing up for Christmas, and kind of excited about that.
So, yeah. So am I. So anyway, I think that's it. Thanks for joining us. Tune in next time for more talk about pens, ink, and paper.
Follow our blog for news, ink reviews, upcoming events, and anything else that's interesting.
And check us out on social media as Anderson Pens.
Stop by our Appleton store. We are open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 5:30, and Saturday, 10 to 2. And our Chicago store is still closed at the moment.
Yep. Like this video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.